It's true, I did. Yeah, yep. Where's the feed? Where's the feed? There's the feed. Hey guys, how you doing? Good. Welcome to the first episode of a stream. I've been wanting to start for a hot minute, but I actually need to do this because I'm starting my new job tomorrow. Pretty exciting stuff. But this is just a tool based stream where we just look at a bunch of tools. But it is still centered around software development, so I'm going to leave it in that category. But yeah, effectively, that's what we're doing here is looking at different tools and how we can use them because I have way too many for one, and I need to consolidate a bit and see what, excuse me, and see what some of these are capable of. Uh, yeah, because I mean I just have way too many, so I think we'll just start with local tools. So I think first and foremost, ooh, you know what might be cool? Let's do a ranking. Yeah, what is all this stuff? EOD, I don't know what that one is. So, how about this? Let's just do a new one named tool tool by rank. And we're going to have a few different categories. So, let's do it's too vague. How about the note taking? I'll just throw them out here. We'll consolidate and refine as we go on. So, note taking. Yeah. What's another one? Oh, okay. Yeah. Bookmarks, the big one. Mm, in research, I kind of put those in the same, at least for my workflow. I'm gonna say document generation slash writing. Wait, is this all one block? It is. I don't want that. Yeah, I want to be able to move these around. So, okay. So this will be just tool categories. And I thought I could underline this. No? Oh well. Note taking, document generation, bookmarks. What else? Oh, duh. Like, yeah, code editing or editors. What else? Let's make y'all red. And fuck it, we'll throw music in there. Music, because I even have some music tools. I want to do that too. Oh, video editors. Uh, oh, scheduling. I guess email would be kind of one. So let's see, note taking, document generation, research, code editors, video editors, music, scheduling, email tools. Oh, duh, what I'm using right now. So, and whiteboards, digital whiteboards, digital whiteboards. And so really, I mean, a lot of these are going to expand big time because I think ultimately a lot of these will kind of have two different versions because there's, there's desktop and then there's iPad, which I don't use enough, but since I'm starting work up again, I will be using it more. I almost want to put the okay, I am going to do that. I'm going to have, so there might be some overlap, but whatever. Doesn't have to be perfect. But I want to keep these separate because, I mean, it really is it's just different. You know what I mean? Oh, there's one more. Go back to this color. Screen, or what do you call the telemetry? Telemetry. Uh, and presentation. How about presenters? Yeah. I kind of put brainstorming here. I guess that's probably a good spot for it because really that's where it would be. Maybe brainstorming, mind maps, that kind of stuff. Because it all kind of ends up in the same spot, but there's some overlap. I'll just leave it. That's fine. Okay. So that being the case, there is the obvious, which is what we're using right now. Oh wait. I'm just gonna say hardware support. Oh, duh. AI. Oh, what am I saying? File storage? Goddamn. Yeah. So okay. So now we're cooking. All right. So now the obvious one. So we'll break this one out first. Wait, let me draw the line here. This is. Oh, what just happened? Okay, digital whiteboards, and then let's break these out first. So Excalidraw, what I'm using right now. Well, Excalidraw Plus. And okay, so let's talk about Excalidraw for a hot second. What do I like about Excalidraw? So for me, the main things that I like about Excalidraw, even if you don't pay for it, I have Excalidraw Plus, but even if you don't, if you just go to the website, not the plus, but the just app.excalidraw.com, I think. .com. Hopefully it doesn't reroute me, but it did. Okay. It knows that I'm logged in, but whatever. But what I like about it, you can immediately get in and just start using the tool. You don't have to sign up and go through all this rigmarole, which I think is great, and it speaks to it is open source too. So to me, it speaks to their genuine stance on it should be an open source tool. And to that point, the fact that it's free, anybody can use it without restriction. I mean, the only thing that Excalidraw Plus gets you, like all of this stuff in here, the AI and the features, anybody can use this stuff, if I'm not mistaken. Because even the AI, I mean, you're just giving it your open AI API key. but everything else people can use. Now, the thing that you get with Pro is the ability to house all of your drawings online. You have permissions around those, private versus public. But I think even the free version allows collaboration. So, oh, what is this? We got reminders? No. And maybe that's not true, but either way, like, okay, so we can look at this real quick. Here's another upside to Excalidraw. Excalidraw actually helped me get my job. So ultimately, I built my whoops. Surely I didn't delete it. Entitled, is that it? Oh no, it's here. Okay. Yeah, so ultimately I used Excalidraw to, because my interview process for the job was 3 rounds, pretty typical, at least in this space. But I used it to present the final products. We had to do this presentation, and or not we, I had to present to them. But this is cool, so you can build out slides right there on the board, and the same. What I really liked about it, because it's always nice to hear some more or less some validation, right? So the reason I ended up choosing Excalidraw to present it is the aesthetics of it. Like, it's just like you got your little pointer, right? It, for whatever reason, not everybody likes this, I know, but the default font, this kind of feigned handwritten, kind of messy, but not still very legible. That aesthetic just seems to have really resonated with a lot of people, including myself. So I used it here, and one of the most common and frequent comments that I got, it was pretty short, it's like 8 minutes long, was the aesthetic. People really like that. So, I mean, that to me is hard to beat because it's a simple thing, but it's hard to, it's a huge thing, the visual aspect, of course. Especially in domains where you're working with customers. So if that's the case, and it's fast, that's a big thing too, is you're never really, I've yet to come across a situation where Excalidraw is extremely slow, and my assumption is that, I mean, I'm sure you could bog it down if you put a lot of stuff on the board, but I'm assuming it's a client-side app, so it's just a JS bundle running locally, so those aspects are hard to beat for me. Now, I think with Pro too, you can leave comments and you can send links, but I know the free version also, you get access to a big set of icons, which is really nice. Other ones like Miro, the whiteboard app Miro, although it's very good, they charge you the top tier paid plan to get access to icons like this, which to me is bullshit because they're obviously everywhere. So, I mean, that part to me is weak shit, but that's why I don't use Miro. But yeah, the fact that you can use these for free and save them to a file, so you can just take them, use them wherever else you want, and upload your own to a personal library is pretty sick. So, I mean, that is a pretty high value offering in my eyes. The AI, honestly, haven't really even used. I don't know. It doesn't. It might be of use to you. I can't speak to how effective it is. It doesn't really matter to me. It's not a big deal, but it's nice that it's there. Being able to embed, I mean, that's pretty common, but it's still nice that they have that for you. And then the frame tool, that's how you can make your slides and group things. Now, the thing that I don't like about Excalidraw that really chaps my ass is the way that you pan the board. And this is a nitpick for sure. I mean, it's not any reason to not use it entirely, but it's a nitpick. So like for example, Miro, or not Miro. Let me show you another one. Board Mix, another one that I really like. Um, oh, sick. Uh, just to show you, this is the same presentation in Board Mix. This one's a little more advanced and it looks similar, but I think this is. I thought this was a paste. Maybe I pasted it directly in. I don't know, but either way, on Board Mix and other, I'd say more recent digital whiteboard apps, to move around the board, you hold the right click and just move the mouse, which to me is very intuitive. So two things: moving around the board with right click, right, to pan, and then the scroll wheel by default zooms in and out. That's fucking perfect. Okay. Excalidraw doesn't do that. Excalidraw is the scroll wheel is vertical scroll. You got to hold control or command to do your zoom, which that part is not. Okay, it's not that big of a deal. But they don't let you change the way that you pan. So you have to hold spacebar. And while you're holding spacebar, you then also have to hold left click and move the board. Now, let me see if you can. And this is why I'm saying it's a nitpick, but you can see I have this Ergo keyboard. I love it, by the way. It was $400 and it's absolutely worth it. If you have wrist pain, don't waste your fucking money. Just get something good like this. I'm not saying you got to get this one, but if you're having wrist pain like I was, I feel like an old man. It's shameful to say, I know. But I don't know why. It started coming on, so I had to do something, and this saved my wrist. I mean, that shit was like burning like fire, and I was just putting up with it. But anyway, this fixed that. This is the Kinesis Advantage 2. The problem is, obviously, you see the split here because of the design. What you would normally do with your pinkies, like hitting your modifier keys, here is a thumb cluster. So this is my space key on the right hand side. Now this keyboard will let you, it's fully customizable, so you can literally remap anything anywhere. If I wanted to have my space key be where the number 9 is, I could do that. But that's not pragmatic. But the problem is I can't hold spacebar and move my mouse with my right hand. So you see the issue there. Now, but there is an alternative, but my issue here also is they don't tell you about it. Being Excalidraw. This was just random information I found on the internet. So apparently, if you hold space and then hold the left click to pan, right? You can do the same thing if you have a mouse with the little middle mouse button here on the scroll wheel. So at least on mine, it's on the scroll wheel. So you just push the scroll wheel down as a button, and then you can pan just by holding that. But even that's kind of awkward because you're holding the scroll wheel, which isn't the most comfy button anyway, and still moving. I don't know. It's just not as good of an experience. I wish they would give you the option to use the right click pan and the zoom feature. I wish they would let you toggle how those behave. But like I said, those are nitpicks, and most people probably would not have that issue. Because if you have a regular QWERTY keyboard, holding space and using the mouse with your right hand is not an issue. So, all that being said, oh wait, but okay, so there is more. And I don't even think this is part of the paid, but you see this little call icon up here. I think this is cool. I wish more apps would do this. Like, for example, Board Mix does. It has collaboration too. I mean, you can set up a meeting, but all it does is open up your default, like Teams or whatever, and then call your mail client. So it's doing a little bit of the boilerplate for you, but it doesn't have a protocol itself. It doesn't have a built-in communication tool itself. With Excalidraw, you can just create a phone call, basically. So people can see your board and hear your voice at the same time. So it's collaborative in the sense that you can see their little bubble floating around, see what they're doing, and then also you can chat with them at the same time, which I think is pretty novel and pretty cool. I think that's it's implemented well. It's nice and simple. And of course, you can share the scene, you can copy things, you can export SVG, PNG, and share a link. So I think, all in all, I would say, I mean, it's pretty good. I'm going to give it, now reserve the right to change this, but I'm going to say, I'm going to give it an 8.4. 8.4 out of 10. Actually, well, let's do 8.7. 8.7 because the community is huge, and also if I don't use this because it just pissed me off one too many times, but there is a really awesome, if you're a fan of Obsidian, the tool. If you haven't heard about this, you've probably been under a rock. But so this is a really nice tool if you want something that's cross-platform, has an app, obviously, Windows. It doesn't have a web app, but it has apps on every platform, even on Linux. You can just download the web app. But it is Electron, if that matters to you, or if you have a slower device, that might not be great for you. But aside from that, it's pretty cool, and it just doesn't work great with iCloud, and that pisses me off. And not so much that it doesn't work great, like they could fix it, but it was more so that I went to the developers because they're very responsive on the forums and all that, so they encourage you if you find a bug or whatever, go share it, report it to them. A lot of people did. It's just some issue when you open up Obsidian because of the way iCloud optimizes your storage. Sometimes there would be this message you get when you open the app, and it says waiting for iCloud to sync config files. That's all it says, and it could take quite a long time. Sometimes 30 seconds, sometimes 3 minutes before it'll open up the app. It's kind of crazy. And apparently, it's because of sometimes iCloud will remove certain files that aren't even in your notes. They're like .tmp files, the temporary files. It's a long convoluted. You can go look if you want to figure out more about it, but there's workarounds and ways to clean it up, but it always ends up coming back, and it's a pain in the ass. And the last thing I want, I'm trying to just get into my notes app, because normally if I'm going to my notes app, I'm trying to get to something like immediately. It doesn't have to be lightning fast, but 30 seconds, even 5 seconds to open is crazy, right? So that part really was a bummer, because it's otherwise a great tool. And to that point, there's a ExcaliDraw plugin, Obsidian. There's a very popular plugin that's completely free that lets you use ExcaliDraw inside of Obsidian directly within, just locally. So you just have .excalidraw files on your local machine. You don't even need the plus. And it's completely free. So, I mean, see, even now when I'm saying it, I'm like, man, that's, I almost want to give it another go. Maybe I'll just try it. Maybe they fixed it. You never know. Let's try it. You never know. Now, honestly, though, I wish it would have worked out because, and I've tried this like 3 different times. I keep coming back to see if it's fixed yet. But it really is it's not on the App Store. It's, you gotta get it direct. I don't blame them for doing that. But anyway, for Mac OS, it's a really nice solution because it's cross-platform, and all of the notes that you replace, all the notes you take are just plain text files, which is also nice. And you don't have to use iCloud is the thing. The only issue is, here's the issue. If you are an Apple user, like me, I got my iPhone, got an iPad. On the Mac, it's not an issue, but on the iOS devices, iPad OS, iOS, those can only sync with iCloud. It's like the apps themselves. So if you want to use Obsidian on your mobile device and you want it to tie into all the same files that you use on your desktop, which I would think most people do, most people don't want a separated, isolated set of documents on mobile versus elsewhere. Then you're confined to using iOS. So in order to use it on all devices, including your mobile, you have to start a vault. So whenever, let me see. Actually, I might as well, if I'm going to do that here, we'll try it again because, hey, why not? So Obsidian, but you have to start your vault on your mobile device first because that creates your vault inside of iCloud. But more specifically, inside of the inside the apps container inside of iCloud. So then you can see it everywhere that you sync iCloud. And so, like on Windows, because I have a Windows machine that I love, absolutely love. I'm not throwing shade at Windows. I'm not going to do it, but yeah, okay, so this is, okay, so I do have one. See, it's doing it right now, waiting for iCloud to synchronize Obsidian config files. Oh, they added something. Trust, author, and enable plugins. Okay. Wait. Okay, so it should be there now. All right, so if I go and open this, then open. What is this? Obsidian. Also Obsidian? Why'd I open two of them? Not sure. See what I mean? Why is just ho shit happening? Okay, let me close that one more time. Okay. I guess it just remembered what I had open last. I don't know. But yeah, so see, you can have this Excalidraw plugin right here. Just right there in the app. Pretty sick. I mean, there's no restriction. There's nothing you can't do. Here, you even got all your plugins, AI. Well, I mean, the collab feature and obviously the phone call stuff is not there, but that's pretty cool to have. Now, the thing that is interesting to me, now I'm selling myself on it again. See, here I go. But the thing that is appealing to me is I think you can, because the one thing that I always wanted was the ability to just have an open canvas, but be able to edit markdown files inside of the open canvas. So not having to go into all the folders and whatnot, right? As embeddable, I think that's what you got to do. Yeah, yes, this is it. So this, man, I really love this feature. This is awesome. But so being able to get in here, right? Click to interact, and now I can edit this markdown file. Can I? Yeah, okay. So now I can edit this markdown file inside of my board, which is pretty powerful. So if I get back up in here, scroll down, well, obviously zoom in a little bit. Does it work? And it does. Okay, so now I edited that file, and now there's a link to that local file, wherever else it is on my machine. That's pretty, man. See, maybe I'll keep it. Maybe I'll just, man, it's really good. When it works, it's really good. Like it's hard to, it's one of those, man. I don't know that I'll ever really get away from it. But for that purpose, I'm going to say Excalidraw 8.7 out of 10. And then since we're on the topic here of, let's see, note taking. It's kind of a, there's some overlap there, but Obsidian. It's pretty good as well. I mean, for what it does. So it's giving you Markdown. It's letting you export in all manner of different formats. It has Pandoc integration. There's hella plugins for it. You can basically find whatever you need from the community. I'm gonna give it an 8.7 too. I kind of put it. I've had the same relationship with it as I've had with Excalidraw. There's certain things that are annoyances, but you can't deny how good it is at what it does. And the value offering is pretty insane comparatively, because a lot of people or a lot of apps want you to pay for that kind of cross-platform functionality, So I'm going to say 8.7 out of 10. And yeah, 8.7 out of 10. Now, what I'm hoping is that, well, I won't go there. So I don't want to linger on one too long, but see, even just having that ability to edit stuff inside the board is just crazy to me. Like, that's really good. And that doesn't even speak to the native canvas, which I was hoping you could do that here, but I think there's some drag from below or double click, space drag. Okay, yeah. So what is this? That's a card. Ooh. Okay, so hold on, wait a minute. When did they made this better too? So it used to be that you couldn't do the editing live. It was just a link. But are you kidding? Okay, forget what I said. You know what? Ah, damn it. All right, so that means shit, man. I'm gonna go 9.3. 9.3. Because I can't ding them too hard for the iCloud stuff. Because I mean, at the end of the day, I don't have to use it for one. And even if I wanted to still have cross-platform sync, my only sacrifice would be I can't use it on mobile, which I'm not gonna use it on my. If anything, I might look up something on my phone, but on my iPad, I really would. I mean, I got the big one, the 12.9 with the keyboard. So I actually like to write. I like that keyboard. I like to write on the iPad. It's a good form factor for me. Yeah, so maybe they'll, yeah, 9.3. I'm gonna leave it at that. What is this? AT&T took money from me. Okay. What else is new, Brittany? All right, so man, that is fucking awesome. Okay, so I will say the only other thing that bothered me although there are some good options, is that there's no native web clipper, which is always a big, I feel like, an oversight. However, well, actually, since they've added that other functionality, let me make sure I'm not lying about this as well. Let me see if maybe they made one. I don't know. Obsidian. Okay, no, they didn't. But how about Chrome Web Store? There might be one here. Yeah, they don't have one. But it's not a huge deal only because wait. Oh, here's a new one. I haven't seen this one. Connect Obsidian Web is a customizable. Well, you know. Okay, let's try it out. Shoot. Why the hell not, brother? Actually, I don't want to do that, but for a specific reason. So actually, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. Only because I just got Qbox, and so what I'm trying to do is to circumvent, but also to my benefit, a lot of the shortcomings around note clippers or not web clippers. Anything on the web, if I can keep in a bookmarking tool. So let's just go ahead and look at that because I think I beat that dead horse enough. So yeah, Excalidraw, I mean Obsidian and Excalidraw both high scores for me. They're really good tools. They're free. And you can make them better with the well actually okay, well, I do want to say one more thing about Obsidian just as a buyer beware kind of thing, even though I'm see this is why the relationship is so weird. There's so much to praise and then also my own personal experience with their paid products wasn't very good. Now, this was like a year and a half ago, so I'm sure, or I can't say that. I would hope that it's gotten better. I'm not willing to retry to that extent. I'll retry using it for free, but not paying for it. And what I'm talking about is they have these two services they offer sync. So they have their own, if you wanted to use just straight up Obsidian and have them do your cross device sync, you could do that. My issue was it was way too fucking slow. I mean, it's an order of magnitude slower than any of the other options, any of the other third party options. Sometimes stuff would never make it over. And now I'm opening up tickets for sync issues. It just wasn't. I'm like, why? Just why? And to me, that's the only real solution, or that would have been the real solution, because then I don't have to worry about iCloud or whatever. But that was unfortunate. And then kind of the same story with the publishing site. I wanted to just have a repo where I could put all my public notes. That way I could share them with, you guys or anybody else, or, something along those lines. But even that I had, again, sync issues, duplicates, the mind map or the back leaking would occasionally break in all the views. Like, so that was unfortunate because I'm a sucker for this stuff. If I see a cool tool and I like it and I get value, I mean, I just gave $20 the other day to the background music I normally use. Holy shit, I'm not even playing my background music, brother. See what I mean? But yeah, so this background music that you hear now, at least you should hear it now. I'll go and do the occasional super thanks to the person that made that. It's just a YouTube video with, it's called The Relaxed Movement, but it's copyright free. And so, I benefit from that. And so I like to give back. And so I think I'm always more than willing to give money to something that I think is, has legs and they're doing something unique in this space. Because I would hope for the same back, so I think we should just support each other. That's all. It's not really being altruistic or anything like that. It's just, I think it's a good thing that we should do. Just show gratitude. That's not going to kill you, you know? But yeah, it just wasn't great. So I can't sit here and say, yeah, I totally use their paid products. But I think the app itself is certainly worth another look. Okay, so now that we've covered that, let me close some of these. And this. And so if we look at, actually, you know what I'm going to put in red just maybe some brief drawbacks, I'll say. Yeah, that might be good. So, panning ergonomics. And I don't really have a whole lot of bad things to say about it. Maybe the score should be higher. I'm being a little harsh on Excalidraw itself. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 9. I'm going to give it a 9. Because it's a lot of value that you're getting. And you really just don't get that elsewhere, so I'm kind of being a dick. Yeah, because these are really good. Okay, so... but I'd change my mind. I don't want to sit here and do that. I'll add those later because we just talked about it, but I'll start doing it as we go for the new ones. Okay, so that's note taking. So now let's do a new category. Bookmarks. Nah, document generation, writing. Actually, this would be a cool one because maybe I should move these whenever I'm setting them down here. Yeah. So there are a number of these that are pretty cool that I want to show you guys. So there's Tau, I think this is Mac OS only, I think. Bear is also Mac OS only. Or I'm just going to say Apple because it's on iOS. Apply only, Apple only. Same with this. I think Bear's working on a web app, but it's not out yet, so can't claim that yet. Highland 2. This one is it's Mac OS only. Oh, Dillinger. There's a lot of really good ones. This one is available on all, or it's a web app actually. It's just a website. And what other ones have I? Oh, Typora is a really good one. That's on all platforms. And I mean, technically, you could even, or not even technically, it's just straight up. I mean, Obsidian would belong here, which is part of what makes it pretty powerful stuff. But I would say the document generation, I would break that out only because I think they should help you. Like these tools would not only. Oh, what am I trying to say here? Okay, for one, I think the first requirement, at least in my eyes, is that it has to support Markdown. It has to. Even better if you can give it HTML, but for sure Markdown. And you need a way to. It should help you format things and change formats, export to different formats, those kinds of things. So that's where the focus is. Okay, so if we look at Tau, T-A-I-O, I'll say the upside here is there's a one-time payment and lots of cool tools. So I think this was $50 for a lifetime thing. Something like that. But okay, so here's what it is. So it looks pretty basic, but under the hood, there's a lot going on in terms of what you can do. So you got your basic, editor window, right? You can have tabs. and it's all similar to Obsidian, just raw text files that you can have in any directory. But what I like about Tau that Obsidian is actually, let me ding. I forgot about the vault thing, so I'm gonna give this a 9.1 again. Because Obsidian requires you to have that vault file, which is like an index of all your notes. Tau doesn't do that. It just reads the directory that you pointed at. And I like that. I prefer that. So yeah, so you can have, Markdown. You get these cool little selectors, so to make your selections easier. Because all of these things are languages that it supports in terms of formats, programming languages, and what is this? And fonts. So that's pretty neat to be able to change that in real time, easily, and you can see all the options. So that's the there's my SQL bitch. Anyway, and then you can bounce between your raw and formatted view up here. Now what's also neat is you can also get a quick little, oh wait, that's the outline. So you have your little stats here, words, characters, non-blank lines. Like that's, I appreciate that. Search bar, obviously. Fast, full text search. Run-of-the-mill stuff, but works very well. And then this little icon here. Now you got all of these tools you have access to. So the image uploader is like pretty robust. I'm not entirely sure what even you're supposed to do with it, but when you go to upload, oh wait, this is different on, okay, so that makes sense, the image upload part. But here you can set up a whole different source, S3 blob, so I'm not sure when you would use such a thing, but it's cool that it's there, because then you can effectively just sync these other sources down to your local, perhaps, maybe as a, well, I don't know. I really don't know the use case for that, but it's neat that it's there. Then you got a mind map, so it'll generate your, based off your note. You can't expand it, but nonetheless, it gives you this mind map. So let's take a closer look at image or PDF. So that's nice. So let's look at it as a PDF. Save as. Yeah, I guess that's cool. And so, what would that be? Home folder? Wait, where did it? Okay, I'm just gonna be a noob, throw it on the desktop. Oh, in iCloud. Okay, but still, to the desktop you go. All right, and then Finder doesn't want to open. Okay, desktop. All right. So that's pretty cool. I mean, in a pinch, right? Want to get this out quickly, throw down some ideas, and then just send off a, hey, what do you think of this, brother? Yeah, okay, it looks good. So that's nice. Yeah, that part is nice. And I could see myself actually using that. Then there's Beautify. So I assume just a formatter here. So what do we? Oh, and this is cool. Yeah, I do remember this now. So it's showing you what it's going to change, and you can decide whether or not you want to accept those differences. Replace. Yeah, go ahead. So that's neat. I like that it asks you first. Custom preview. Not sure what that is. Mark deep preview. Ooh, okay. I don't know what that is, but. Oh, just another type. But this to me is something that a good document application should do for you. Checklist. A lot of this stuff like checklist and the formatting, obviously you can do it in real time inside of or in line with Markdown. But so this is cool too. Look at this lines view, right? Swipe to delete, hold to reorder. So if you wanted to move things around in the document, then you can just do that, which is a lot easier, because imagine these were not, well, if it was a longer document, I'll say. I wonder if you can, okay, so it's just one line at a time, but even if you had a big, actually that kind of stinks. I wish it was, I wish it was multiple lines. That would be sick, but even still, I mean, I think this is pretty cool. But hopefully they expand that to multiple lines. So what else? Text case, search and replace, editor brightness. I'm not sure what that means. GitHub Markdown, that's just another flavor of Markdown. You got a linter for Markdown, that's cool. If you couldn't figure out what the issue was, list headings, voice input, give it some voice messages. I mean, that's not all too, oh, whoops, sorry. Wait, come back here. Content helper, what is this? Oh, location, calendar, contact. Okay, so that's cool. Yeah. All right, and then a couple more actions. You can find the actual file in iCloud, which that's not anything novel really. But you can share directly, export. So, okay, so this is a big deal. So share as, you got your Markdown, which I think is the main thing, because you can use Pandoc, which is a free tool to take anything from, or to take Markdown to any target, basically. So as long as you have that, I think you're good. But the fact that they have HTML, PDF, I mean, you can see all these. So this to me is a big plus for any app that has that many options. But yeah, and then, so that's just the editor part, right? So another, and this was actually the main reason I got it initially. If you're somebody that works with Mac OS and also your mobile device like I do, so a lot of times I'm using my iPad and I'll find something that I want to quickly work with on desktop, like a photo or a blob of text. More recently, it's been a blob of text, and it's been a pain in the ass to not be able to just, like, damn, I just want this blob of text available to me in Mac, And so in the past, I end up throwing it in Apple Notes or in Bear, something that syncs, right? And it's usually okay. But the problem with that is then you're having to kind of decide where you're putting it, remember where you put it, blah, blah, blah. What's really neat about this, so let me I'll show you. So this is, or actually I can use my phone too. I don't have to open up my iPad. Towel. So in the settings, there is, let me make sure it's on first. There's an option to sync your clipboard. Autosave. Okay. Yeah, so now as long as that setting is on, now I'm going to just go anywhere and copy some text. Copy. And then it should ask me. Womp. What the hell happened? Well, is it not? iCloud Sync is on. Wait, what the fuck? Okay, let me do it again. Copy again. Copy. Oh, you're getting a low score, brother. You embarrass me on my stream? No, I'm playing. No, okay. Why isn't this working though? Oh, okay. Hold on, wait. Maybe it was on the iPad. Although I don't see why it would be different. But okay, so if I open up, let me open up Tau here. And go to clips here. Oh, so I guess it only works on the iPad. So that's weird. Anyway, so I don't know if you can. Fucking up my green screen. Well, anyway, when you open the same app, Tau, on the iPad and you copy something, it immediately pops up with a prompt and it says allow, don't allow. If you allow it, it saves it to that collection of clips here that you see on the left-hand side, which is in a pinch wildly useful if you're passing text around from the device. But you know, that's I'm sure it has limited applicability in a lot of cases, but that was a big plus side. But the fact it didn't work on the Mac. Anyway, the other stuff you can do, it comes with a lot of these actions. So if you're not familiar with like Apple scripting, they have this scripting language you can use to do a bunch of different stuff. That's how people like apps and whatnot have widgets and shortcuts and actions and stuff. So there's a big list of stuff that you can do with it here. I honestly don't. I never use these. Maybe I should. But it seems like a good addition. I just can't really speak to the value because I don't use them a whole lot. And then you got templating, which again I don't. I don't like to use. I just like to. That's why I like Markdown. You don't have to fuck around with rigid templates. You can just on the fly format things. But that's Tau. So I'm gonna say, yeah, you know. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna give it a 6. Give it a 6. Okay, now there's Bear. Bear is pretty cool, but and it's popular. I think I uninstalled it actually because it was one of those where I kept kind of falling into this trap because it's fun to use. It's really fast, but it's also a bit limited in the sense that it's tags only, so that can get a bit cumbersome. You can only organize things with tags. It's very fast, but it also doesn't use raw text. It uses a local SQLite database and it syncs it that way. Now they do give you access via an API link to your notes, and they don't store your notes. It's all local. So it's really fast and performant. Great export options, but just a little bare bones. So I'll give Bear I think it's a good app. I'll give it an 8, and I think that'll go up if the web app is good, but it's only on Mac OS, or it's only on iOS and Mac OS. Yeah, it's high quality, but aside from that, it's a bit limited. But it's good at what it does. Then there's Highland 2, which this one is a paid app, but what I like about it is, like the main thing I like about it, it has all these different interesting what you call it? Well, two main things. Has a lot of different Let me get two main features that I really like. So, for one, if you go up to article here, all of these different layouts you can change on the fly and just see, your same document in a different layout. And this app is, I'm not a screenwriter, but that's apparently it was made by screenwriters. And so a lot of the needs that they have, they have advanced needs in terms of actually creating documents. And so that part, having access to some of these interesting layouts is cool because, I could see some of these having actual, so that's just raw mode, and then here's the formatted, but I can see some of these having actual value out in the real world just as a different way to, what's going on there? To view data, or even just a quick way to clean up your own writing and have it look more presentable. So, MLA, article, speech, modern standard, treatment. Oh, I like that one. A novel. See, that's pretty cool. And I would manually never even know really where to get started with some of this stuff. So it's neat that it's there, and just another, really more or less a way that you can stand out, at your company, your job, and then it's easy enough to change the, the formatting. So there's lots of cool stuff that you can do. Has a little timer for writing and whatnot. Now, another cool thing that I really like is you can save, I'm not even sure how to do it, honestly, but you can save notes about the document that don't appear on the document. So it's like notes about your notes, but the ones that you don't want to appear, it's just something you want to reference, which might sound a little silly, but I actually think that's pretty handy because I've wanted that quite a bit. Kind of like code comments. It's almost in that same vein, a way where you can have code comments. So, and I believe it's relative to assets are only available. So this is our, the breakdown notes. Yeah, so it's per document that you can have these individual notes. So that, I really like that. I think that's really cool. So that is that. I think it was a couple of bucks, but I like having that there just in general because you can always throw any PDF or whatever in there or Markdown and then just reformat it easily. And so, for what it's supposed to do and what it says it does, I think it's a pretty good tool. I'm going to give it an 8 too. I don't know. Now, there's... Actually, I don't want to cover these. I've kind of beat this horse down. Dillinger.io, if you want an easy, quick way to do something on the web. This one's worth showing just because I think it's immediately accessible to anybody. You can just go Dillinger.io and just start writing on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, you have your preview. And you can even... Wait, what is that doing? Oh, yeah, so you can see the raw HTML. You can import from basically any of the popular sources outside of iCloud. You can save to your areas. You can export HTML, PDF, Markdown, preview as, so that... And this is all just in a web app for free. So, frankly, I think if I really had to, I could just get by using this and I wouldn't have to fuck with the other stuff. So, Dillinger is awesome. Make sure you use it if you need it because it's there and it's free. Okay, so now what I want to look at is... Oh, I didn't even put a big, project management, task management kind of stuff. This is probably the most annoying category just because it really is, like, at the end of the day, I think it's one of those things where you gotta you really just need a system that works for you. You don't need the most advanced tools, but it's always, there's an allure to hopping on board with those other tools, I think, a lot of times. So now we're going to look at some of the tools that let me close this, that I purchased and have never touched. So I don't know much about them at all, but we're going to take a look. So let's see. There was oh, okay, wait, it's in the App Store, because I think they were iPad apps actually, but we'll see if most of them will also run on Mac OS now. Yeah. Wait, no. Yeah, these ones. Looks like they will work. Stack, get out of here. Max Payne, yep, of course. Just want to make sure I got all the... Ooh, can I play that on Mac? That'd be cool. But anyway. Now let's go look at... Oops, not that. So one of these was... Oh, no, wait. Actually, it didn't show up on that list, so I don't think it will. I guess I could share my iPad screen. We'll skip to the next one, because yeah. Those are iPad apps, but maybe I'll have to do that separately. Or on a different stream or whatever. So now there's bookmarking and research. So this is the one that I think can both alleviate a lot of issues, but also it's just a pain in the ass to move around and switch between them. So there's Qbox and Raindrop. And I'm just going to say almost immediately, like Raindrop and Obsidian, Excalidraw, I kind of put them in the same class because the free tier is so good and they're really good at what they do. Just out of the gate, like no config or anything like that, nothing crazy. Even though I just switched off of Raindrop for Qbox because Qbox is iPad centric and I like the reader, which is one of the things I didn't like about Raindrop, but maybe that's too high. I'm being too generous here. 8.2. Okay, but if you've ever heard of like Pocket, I think is the other one, Pocket Bookmarks. I think that one's more popular. Yeah. So I've never used Pocket. I can't really speak to it, but this is the category of apps we're talking here. So Raindrop is $30 for a year for the pro version, and you get quite... What is this? Keeps trying to... There we go. Yeah, so there are apps. So there's an iPhone app. There's they have a web app for all the desktop versions, so you're covered there. The extension is really good. I don't have it installed, but you can basically do anything with it. So any text you select, you can highlight on, like similar to Qbox. So a lot of that stuff is shared functionality, so I can show you in that way. So if you highlight something and then right click, you can save it directly there, just like you can with Qbox. You can annotate live web pages. So if I wanted to, I thought you could, it's not doing it now, but show highlights. and that was another issue that I had with Raindrop is you couldn't, like, once you highlighted something, why isn't it working? Now this is bothering me. Maybe I can't on this. Show floating button, yeah. Enable. After saving. That or like Microsoft blocks it. I don't know. Preferences. Oh, is that why? Let's go to Medium. Microsoft is ditching React. Oh, what is this? What's going on? Well, hold on. Wait, I'm doing two things at once. Okay, there it is. Now it popped up. Okay, so you can highlight it or clip it on live web pages. So this is really neat though, because then it saves the web page for you. Oh, what was that? So if I click that, highlight. Ooh, and you can add a note. Oh my God. Wow. No, that's cool. I mean, so you can do that in Raindrop too, is the thing, but it was not that easy. You had to go back to the app, then add the note. This to me is, I mean, more or less, I mean, it sounds corny to say, but a game changer, because as soon as you do this, now you're not having to get it out of your flow. You can just come to the app, go to your unreads, and then you would see everything that you did. You know, if you were, say, doing it on a daily basis or whatever, you can go back to the source where you read it, see your notes, or can it just show me? Open in browser. Oh, you just double click it. Okay. And there are your notes. Okay. And then you can, but what's cool about this is you can then share it. So if you want to share your notes, your annotations, or whatever, you can do that, and it can be public, it can be private. You can export it, just make it a file. That's pretty slick. So that part I like. If you want to see the actual web page, there's a browser in the app, so you don't have to exit the app necessarily. And then another great thing about this is the snapshot, which it's not always going to work, but if it can, it will save a version of the web page, which anything behind a paywall, usually, I guess it's not going to work, but sometimes it does. I don't know. It just kind of depends on the website, and they can't really control that. So I don't ding them for that. But what's nice is it will continuously save, or it'll persist a version of the web page that you viewed when you viewed it. So the version as it was. That way, if a company, you know, like these dirt bags, like at Unity or Adobe or whatever, the ones that try to just change shit on the website, like suddenly it was there, you know, suddenly things have changed, the TOS has changed. You can have that older version saved in your Qbox repo. Raindrop does this as well, so it should be noted. But ooh, this is cool. Now this is something Raindrop didn't have that Qbox has, is this ability to view it in article mode and then change the theme, right? So yeah, this is pretty cool. Ooh. Changing the font. Oh, I can make it bigger. Yeah, this is nice. Oh, wide margin. Yeah, I never liked the, by default we just way too little space. But yeah, so I mean, you can see the the benefit here in terms of just logging things as you go. You don't have to copy and paste around into different apps. And so then when you are ready to generate a document in something like Obsidian or Tau or whatever, you can just reference this link, copy the content as Markdown because it lets you do that, and then just do some light editing. But yeah, I mean, I think these kind of tools are really these are powerful to me for anybody that's sick. Oh, and okay, so that's your highlight view. So yeah, I mean that's pretty cool, right? I mean, come on. You can even share individual notes, snippets. What? Yeah, I didn't know that. Okay, but yeah, that's cool. And then AI can also go over all your content and do AI things. What can you do here? It can summarize for you, give you insight, ask AI questions that might be helpful. Yeah, well, whatever. But if you ever need some text generated, quickly, or just want to bounce off ideas, it's nice to have it there. I think aside from that, everything's generally run of the mill, but yeah, not to downplay the reader functionality. The reader and then just the app itself, I think, are my biggest upsides here. I just started using this, so maybe I'll reserve the rating, but I mean, so far it seems so good. So let's see what is next, though. I mean, I really wanted to use. Let's look at some of these Swift dev tools because I'm kind of wondering what should be in my lineup here. Yeah, you've now been demoted, brother. Remove. And so have you. And you. Quit. Yeah, so there's a few of these, like. So this one is easily probably the best, a companion for Swift UI. But we've looked at that, so I won't start there. But how about Vulkan? What does this do? I guess probably an easier thing would be, because I think most of these came from the App Store. They'll tell us what they do. Honestly, it's been such a... I got those when I first started the Swift stream. Admittedly, shamefully, I did it. Blind purchases, I did it. Let's see. So it would have been after... Yeah. Zeit Mission. Ooh, okay, so I do want to show you this one because... Oh, not airdrop. So I really wish that this was more fleshed out. What? A turbo up, no way to create any document you cannot open. That can't be real. Okay, so let's look it up. Arial. But yeah, it's effectively like a visual way to crawl your... Let's look at the guide, actually. That's nice. There's one. Okay. Arial can only open folders, unlike other apps. To open folders, you may either drag or drop folders in the Finder to the Arial icon, or choose open from the menu bar. Really? I might have to add it. I don't have that. Yeah, I don't have that button. What the heck? It's our first problem. Okay, system settings. Extensions, probably. Okay, it's probably in here. Ooh. Although I didn't see. Yeah, my head spinning. No kidding. All right, let's see if the thing is there. I don't have it there. Maybe gotta use it first. Create a shortcut in the toolbar. To do this, drag and drop the app icon while holding down the command key. Wait, one of the convenient features in the toolbar, drag and drop the app icon while holding down the command key. Oh. Really? No shit, dude. What? Wait, but what does it do? Just straight there? Well, okay, I'll have to think about that. I'm trying to think of why that's useful, but that's cool. Okay, so you need the job in the finder to the aerial icon or choose. Okay, so that's a bit odd. Zooming to zoom in and out, scroll up and down while holding the command key. Start end editing. Click anywhere on the file to start editing. Aerial will open the file at the position where you clicked. Exit from editing by one of the following ways. Escape key, zooming out. Click the button next to the file name. Inline image. Use the following comment convention to insert an inline image. Wow, what? The image file must resides in the same folder. Okay. You can draw connections between codes by using the following comment. Address foo arrow. Well, that's badass, dude. You can annotate. Place horizontal line. Position files. It seems at least by some measure kind of, you know, half baked, and but I mean I hate to say that, but it's true, but I'm trying to think if what do I have in here? PDFs. Editor. Yeah, let's check that one. So allow. Interesting. Okay, so I'm where'd it go? Okay. Here's a folder. PDF. So I guess you can't. Whoa. Oh, no shit. Look at that. So I can. So yeah, this is kind of in that same vein of me wanting the live markdown in a visual way. So it kind of. I guess you can't pan. You can just zoom out. Wait, but I can't. How am I supposed to? Surely. Inline image. Weird. Okay, so let's try this. If I. Okay, I click in here. And then escape key to get out. So product is okay, books.md. I can do it to that one. So books.md. So if I click in here, address. Escape. Oh, you can pan. You just hold left click. Okay. Shoo. I was about to say that's a tough sell, brother. Otherwise, but it looks like it hasn't been developed on, or yeah, continuously developed since a few years. But I still really like it for moving around and reading stuff. I mean, that is pretty novel. You don't really see that in many places, especially the ability to have it kind of pop out at you like that. Let's think about this. Oh, connections. That's what I wanted. So address, foo, arrow, foo. MD. So I guess the save is just auto, and then, but it didn't seem to work. Connection from arrow to address. What? Between, is that within the same file? Maybe that's what it means. Oh, no, wait, I'm a dummy. I put it in the wrong, oh, it crashed. All right, let's try that again. So this has address. Oh, okay, so I think it just does it like anywhere. Or I don't have to call out a file necessarily, but I just name it something, I believe. So how about dank? And then dank. It's a little rough around the edges. It doesn't seem to want to. Oh, okay. You know what? Yeah, cool idea, but seems like a time suck. So yeah, we're gonna let that ride. What time is it? I gotta get my Halo going. I think we'll wrap it there. Didn't really do. Yeah, I'll have to show the iPad apps because those were the ones that I really wanted because there was a suite of 3 apps that they sell for project management, code editing, and app design that I thought was really also novel. And it was also a diagramming tool, so I want to look at that. But yeah, I think we'll wrap there for now and get the Halo stream started. So guys, thanks for checking this out. This was the first episode of You're Such a Tool. Pretty good title, no? All right, guys, we'll catch you tomorrow. We'll restart the stream or the Swift stream at some point. I can't promise it'll be tomorrow. It'll be this week for sure, this coming week. But I start work tomorrow, so I'm gonna see what the schedule looks like. And but don't worry, we're gonna finish all that. So yeah, hang out, Scout. When in doubt.